What's good, gentlemen, fellas? Welcome back to another video. So gentlemen, I titled this video, How to Stay Strong When Life is Lifing. You know, every single one of you watching this video right now, especially if you're older than 25, right? Because I believe that once you become like 24, 25, you're a quarter of a century old. At this point, you probably lost a couple of people. Your parents start to get older. You start to figure a couple of things about life. Obviously, we continuously learn, right? You never stop learning. Even if you're a man watching this right now who is 60, you'll find that at least along my quest and journey to knowledge, I've realized that the more intellectual I become, the wiser I've become, the more meek I become, in a sense that I've realized how much more I still lack, how much more I still don't know. And so that being said, every one of you watching this video has gone through life's cyclical nature of what's perceived to be up and down, what's perceived to be rock bottom, what's perceived to be hard, difficult, tumultuous, right? And so how do you surpass that? How do you stay strong? How do you keep a level head? And I've spoken to you guys in previous videos about how, I've been through a great deal of hardship in my young life. I feel like I'm 1,000 years old, bro. I feel like I'm 1,000 years old. And as I've gone through my hardships, I've studied, I've delved in different philosophies. I taught myself different languages. And as I was studying the same philosophies, but in different languages, it's unique the experience that I've been able to have, because I've been able to interpret different pieces of literature from different perspectives and regions of the world. And you come to find out that, at least what I've come to find true is, and for the context of this video, I'm going to refer to a video that I made last month titled The secret ingredient to everything a man wants in life is delusion. I personally think that's some of my best work. If you haven't watched that video, go check it out. But you see, I've gone through so many different stages of my life. I was a Catholic growing up. I was a Christian. I was even briefly an atheist, right? My mother's a pastor, my uncle's a pastor, my brother's a pastor, and I was forced to go to church sun up, sundown, 7 days a week. And I was briefly an atheist until I found myself back to God. But I've come to realize that one of the main things that has gotten me through all of my hardship has certainly been, faith, one could say. But really, in a nutshell, if we really peel the onion back, faith is nothing but delusion. Because ultimately, faith is believing in what you can't see, which is the same thing as delusion. We can use different words, tomato, tomato, but one way that I've been able to stay strong throughout what's perceived to be hardship. And the reason I say perceived is because at the end of the day, I've realized that how you choose to look at things is what it is. You see, I'm at a perspective right now at the time of filming this to where I don't necessarily view things as being inherently good or bad. I've backed myself into a mental corner to where when something perceivably bad happens, I look at it as an opportunity for me to grow. You see, I'm able to, in a sense, remove myself from the POV and look at myself from the third perspective, as I said in my Gamify video, and say, okay, so my character is having some hardship in this area. What's the good? I'm instantly looking for the good. And when you have this perspective, it helps you get out of hard times, even if the hard time is a 3-year stretch. I've had 2 to 3 year stretches where it's been difficult. And nobody saved me. It didn't matter how much I prayed. It didn't matter what I did. And no, I'm not a pessimist. I'm just letting you know. Nobody saved me. I had to get out of my own head and just go the course. Oh, that sounds rough. It was. It is. You see, I made a video, man, it had to have been 6 years ago, on my other channel. I made a video talking about how to pray correctly. And in this video, I was diving into the hidden gospel of Thomas, and I was also diving into how to use your emotion to convict yourself to spearhead. What do I mean? I'm going to elaborate in layman's terms. You see, when you're going through something that's so difficult, I'll give you guys an example. A couple of months ago, it's a regular Tuesday morning before my birthday. Regular Tuesday morning before my birthday a couple of months ago, as in 2 months ago. Early in the morning, it's 9 a.m. I'm jogging around the park, beautiful sunny day. I'm jogging, got my shirt off. I'm feeling good. I love to exercise. It gives me energy. I'm about to hit a runner's high. I'm about 18 minutes into my run. I'm about to hit a runner's high. I feel so good. I got my dark playlist playing. The music is good. I'm feeling it. I get a phone call from my dad. I'm looking at my Apple Watch. I'm kind of irritated because I'm like, damn, Dad, right? I'm in my run. But then I check myself. I'm like, Dudley, why are you angry or bothered that your father is calling you? You're super blessed to have your father still be alive. I was like, yeah, shut the fuck up, Dad. Boom. Okay, I take the call. My dad says, hey, son. I'm like, yeah, Dad. He's like, where are you? I'm like, I'm jogging around the park. He's like, oh, man, take a seat. I'm like, huh? He's like, son, take a seat. So I stop jogging and I walk over to a bench. And he said, hey, are you sitting down still? I was like, yeah, Dad. You feel like, what's going on? Right? Vamos ver lá. He said, man, your brother Ed is no longer with us. I was like, what? Like, I paused. I was like, what? You know, like, I'm kind of laughing like it's a joke. I'm like, what? He's like, your brother's no longer with us. And then he had to get off the phone quickly after. And I sat there, broad daylight, trying to keep my composure. It felt like I had duct tape all around my body and my body was about to explode with emotion. And I got my ass up and I started walking to my car. And when I'm truly stressed out, when I'm broken, I go back to factory settings. There is no speaking English. I call my mom, right? Not my stepmom, because my brother is from my dad and my stepmother. I call my mom, and you know, like, my mom used to watch us, right? And I call my mom, and I was like, Mommy. And she goes, we Sherry. And I was like, I'm talking to her as I'm walking towards my car. I get in the car, burst. Fue muy, Mommy. I'm weeping in the car. I catch myself. I'm driving back home, right? What got me through that situation? Honestly, I had to convince myself that for some reason, I was gonna use this pain to serve people and to help people. That's how I got through it. My brother dealt with it differently. My other brother, my sister, my family, I don't even know how they're dealing with it, right? But for me, life was lifing in that moment. It wasn't about me. It was about my niece and my nephew, my sister-in-law, my brother's wife. I instantly went to, okay, we gotta take care of this. We gotta clean the house. What are we gonna do for the funeral? I gotta go. Man, I tried to drive down to go see my family 3 hours and I almost crashed the car. I had to come back home and like rest that. I had to rest that evening. I had to get my mind right. I had to stay strong, not just for me, because it ain't just about you. I want every man watching this right now to understand, when your life is lifing, it ain't just about you. That's the thing. A lot of you are so selfish. Soon you will realize that this life ain't just all about you, G. Especially when you put out into the world that you want to be something, that you want to be a man of high esteem. Oh, life is going to life like a motherfucker. But it doesn't matter how much life lifes. I'm always going to Dudley. Dudley's always going to Dudley. John is always going to John, whatever your name is. William has to William. You see, whenever life is life, and for me, I already know I got another gear because I don't have a choice. Nobody's gonna save me. You wanna know when I realized that nobody was gonna save me? I was about 9 years old. My mother was fucking her pastor, right? She was involved with different men. And she was so enamored by this pastor who was also taking thousands of dollars from her, right? My brother was in the streets. I was left to wander around and get into all type of nefarious activities. So I got arrested multiple times. I was doing a whole bunch of crazy shit because I was a misguided kid. My father had a whole nother family, right? And my mother sent me away to go live with the sister of the pastor that she was fucking in attempts to, I guess, scare me straight or correct me, right? And I lived in a little one-bedroom apartment with the sister of the pastor and her 3 kids in the ghetto, a worse hood than mine, and we were struggling. And every single night, as I laid on that hard floor, rats, roaches, all type of things would crawl over me, and I would get eat the fuck up and bit the fuck up. This was the period where I had to start running up in niggas' cribs and start stealing shit. This is when I started to have stealing shit and flipping shit at 9 years old. This is when I was eating bone marrow out of chickens that I found in the garbage. I wrote about this in my book. That's when I realized nobody was coming to save me. When my own mother was so enamored by a man that she shipped me away out of state to go live with God knows who. A couple of years later, my father took me in. So I realized at a young age, life was gonna life, and there was nobody to save me, even at a young age. I'm not asking for no pity. This ain't no sob story. This is my life. You're gonna have to know and understand how to get yourself through life, gentlemen, because nobody cares. That's the truth. Nobody's gonna give a fuck about what you went through. A lot of you guys make so many excuses, especially for you being short. Are you fucking kidding me? You're making an excuse because you're short? A lot of you guys are pussies. Straight up. When life is life and you're going to have to go into another mode, gentlemen, you're going to have an impenetrable mind. I can't tell you how to do it. I just learned how to. I can try my best to articulate it to you. But if you haven't gone through anything, if you haven't been hurt and abused and discarded, I don't know what to tell you. It's coming though. Oh, I promise you it's coming. It's coming. And the one thing that's got me through has been delusion. The one thing that's got me through has having that conviction and knowing that I'm great and that I'm going to utilize all this pain, all this hardship to serve the masses. This is what's got me through. This is how I've stayed strong when life was lifing. When I was living out of my car and I ain't have shit to my name and I had to go bounce around from home to home. And I'm talking about I was like 19, 20. Delusion, knowing that I'd be a great man. Belief in myself. So many of you walking around have no belief in yourself. And you have no belief in yourself because, one, you don't keep your word to yourself. You don't know what you want to do. You don't know where you want to go. You don't even ponder on the thought of what you want to do in your life. You're just plugged in, drifting through life, scrolling memes, doom scrolling endlessly. A lot of you guys right now are reading the comments. You can't even watch this video straight up. You wonder what your problem is. You have no attention span. You have no sovereignty. You have no control over your life. You're a drifter. And most of you guys don't even want to be unplugged. You're lost. You don't even want to be unplugged. I'm not sorry to tell you that. It's the reality. So gentlemen, when life is lifing, you have to be the kind of man that removes yourself from your life and look at yourself as if, okay, life is chess. I just lost my brother. My mom doesn't love me. My girl left me. I got laid off from my job. I got a speech impediment. I tore my ACL. I'm from a third world country. Whatever the fuck it is. What move are we making? Not gonna sit here and wallow and bask in mental disparity. and bereavement. Ain't no time for that shit. Production, gentlemen. We gotta produce. Regardless. You see, those of you who are so selfish and you think it's all about you, I really wonder what you're gonna do when you actually have a family, when you have a woman that looks up to you and kids that rely on you, right? I really wonder how you're gonna lead your family. A lot of you guys wanna get into business and you wanna lead. You have no moral compass. You have no tenacity in you. Not a fiber in your body is tenacious. A lot of you guys wanna skip the process and get an easy payoff. I get pitched from you guys every single day. You guys are asking for fucking $5,000 to do a job that takes $200. You guys are trying to skip the process. You guys have no integrity, no backbone, no certainty, no heart. I'm not here to shame you. I'm just here to show you exactly what you are. Straight up. So when life is lifing, you gotta take a real good look at yourself and say, yo, what am I gonna do? Where do I wanna go? Because here's the thing, fellas, you have a choice. You have a choice. You can either be like everybody else and complain and stay in the lowest frequency. You can stay in the lowest frequency of life, being in scarcity, being down on yourself, wallowing. Or you can be that motherfucker that just doesn't give up. Because I'm ready to die for what I believe in. I will die 10,000 slow deaths over and over again before I ever give up. Perhaps that's the Haitian in me. I don't know. I just know my spirit is not one to succumb or give to the cyclic nature of life. Hell yeah, life is gonna life like a motherfucker. That ain't nothing new. Whether you're watching this from the first world, the third world, whatever excuse you want to make, whether you're black and you want to say that other people have more opportunities than you because you're black, whether you're whatever, I don't care what excuse you're gonna make. That's the thing. A lot of you guys like to make excuses. Straight up. I don't know what to tell you, fellas. When life is life and you stay strong because you have no other option to. The only option is valor, is to spearhead, is to drive forward. As I said before, you gotta dig. This is how you stay strong when life is lifing. There is no option. You can never be wavering. What's the other option? Walk yourself into oblivion. Walk yourself into mediocrity. Walk yourself into being an average man. Like I said before, ain't nothing wrong with being average. That will never be me though. Fellas, that's the video. If you want to build an impenetrable mind and become a rare man, click that first pinned link. I got something special for y'all. Something that's really going to transform your life. Change you into a different man. I'll see you guys in the next video. Salute.
Look, what ain't no way I made a way. Called my lane, I paved the way. Drew it up nice, I made the play. What a good day to get paid today. What ain't no way I made the way. Called my lane, I paved the way. Drew it up nice, I made the play. Ball on the fuck, nigga, fade away. Hey, hey. Ball on the fuck, nigga, fade away.